Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. It's funny, I struggled for a second to say the name and immediately the my Netflix popped up with the name just to remind me, so thank you for that. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, episode 3. Last week we did episode 2 and I was crying by the end of it. I knew that was gonna happen in this series. I could tell from the start. I mean, I almost cried at the OP before I'd even watched the show, back when I did the very first OP reaction video that had Fragrant Flower in it. So I knew that it was gonna get me emotional if the OP just having a montage of the girl could make me emotional. So, and by the girl I mean Kaoruko. I can use her name now that I know it. So yeah, I'm really excited to jump into this. Last week they basically confronted the fact that they're from different schools and that doesn't mean anything. They don't have to let it mean anything about them and who they are and what they do. And I thought it was a really beautiful episode. So we got both episodes have been really beautiful so far. I'm hoping we continue that feeling throughout the entire series, and I feel like we will. It's been nailing it so far. So let's jump into this. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos. You can get next week's episode of Fragrant Flower, episode 4, on there right now in full length, so go check that out. Let's jump into this. Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, episode 3.
なんか楽しいことでもないとやってらんねえ。うわっ、スポタイ今月じゃん。
Oh, really?
楽しみだな。優勝目指そうぜ。
Aww.
お前ら二人はスポーツ
Excuse me? Why? What did they do?
今回の中間赤点取ったやつはスポーツ
Uh-huh.
でも俺らが今
Yeah.
回点取るから
Give them a chance.
大丈夫なのか スポタイ出れて優勝したら愛想を掘ってやるよ
Okay. Great.
何時間勉強すればいいんだ。俺10分も集中でき
Aww. I kind of get it, dude. But...
去年めっちゃ教えたのに2人とも赤
yeah, that'd be frustrating.
全然大丈夫じゃない。
Aww. Can Kaoruko teach you motherfuckers? Is it gonna be like a study group with Kaoruko?
またそんなこと言って。
私も久々に会いたいしさ。
Aww. The mother is such a wingman. Yes, do it. Aw, did he send it? Good job, man. Oh, good question. Maybe not. Probably not. Aw. Aw. Well, that's a sweet message. But that was a cute reply, at least. She was like, "Thanks for inviting me." Okay. Oh my gosh. Are we gonna see the girls in here? This music. He's probably not focusing at all. He's like, I don't know how the fuck. He's grown a lot in the last few weeks, I imagine. Oh man, I love his friends. Oh, that's so nice, man. What a smile that guy has. He's a catch too. He needs to find a girl. Or a guy. But he seems like a ladies' man. Not like a ladies' man, but he seems like he'd be obsessed with ladies. Oh, he's giving up his seat for them. Aww. Those aren't Kikyo girls, right? Oh, and he took the blame for it to his friend. I love Ritaro, man. He's such a good guy. Kaoruko. Oh, she's tutoring. Little drawing. Yeah. You get to hear her talking with someone else. That is kind of nice.
全然帰ってこないね。どこまで行った
Are you about to run into her? Oh.
片やっぱここ千鳥でも
Aww. At a dumb school. Aww.
凛太郎も一緒だから俺楽しみなんだよ。
凛太郎、
Oh shit!
ここでお昼寝ですか？
That's so cute.
さっきまで中にいたんじゃ。
So you did see
やっぱ
her.
り凛太、お久しぶりですね。
You just revealed that you saw her in there and didn't say
後
hi.
ろ姿が見えた。お腹も空いたし、ついでにご飯も食べちゃおうって。
Aww. Now you two get to spend a bit of time together.
そういえば割引でせっかく教えてくれたの
Aw, she feels bad about it, of course.
そんな
にバイトでお金貯めておかないと。
お嬢
Mmm.
様なのにバイト。
何ですかそのイメージ。私お嬢様じゃないんです。
Okay.
特待生で帰郷に入った
Makes sense. You're just a fucking smart girl.
これでも1位を保ち続けてるんですよ。
Aw, so cool.
すげえ。
She gets better and
で
better.
も授業中は寝ないようにひたすら手を使い
すげえ。
We've never seen her like that.
一にわがままを言って帰郷に通わせてもらうことになったんです。
Aw. Aw.
そんなことは絶対にしたくない。
Wow, what a cool way to show that.
帰郷に私のプライドです。
と誰かにしちまうやつになった
Mm-hmm.
やだ。
Don't hit, dude. You're improving so much in a short amount of time. It's incredible.
勉強教えてくれ
Oh,
ません
I'm glad he's asking.
俺
I'd be too nervous to ask her.
やばくてもう慣れたくね
Oh, that's a good line.
暇
I
な
like
時とか
that.
でいいんで。
あでも暇な
That's
時
what. That's why I'd be afraid to ask, because it would feel like she wouldn't have any free time.
が空いたらすぐ連絡します。一緒に頑張りましょ
So sweet.
う。そろそろ友達のとこ戻りますね。
あの
This is a different girl. It is a different
そう
girl.
です。その子コンビニ行ったきり帰ってこなくて。
She's about to get back. Is she mad that she's talking to a delinquent?
誰
Damn. She's got a striking design.
その人誰
スバル。
Subaru.
金髪外国人か。
She looks so
す
cool.
げえかっけえ。
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
そうだけど
Hey.
ならもう
I was about to say, oh
この子
god.
に関わらないでくれるかしら
Excuse
助
me.
けたくないのよ千鳥なんて
Kaoruko won't leave me alone.
あの制
He's
服
talking to two girls.
最悪だ。
なああんたら桔梗だろ
Don't be
凛
rude.
太郎になんかよ
こんな野蛮な人たちに時間を割く必要
Aww.
は
スバル。
I want Kaoruko to sort of speak up.
あんたどっかで
Oh my god.
カオルコに近づかないで。
Oh, good job. Good job. Both of you, honestly. Just in case.
体が勝手に動いた
He's too
別
protective.
に宇佐美なんで
Well, because last time someone got close to her, you know,
だから関わらせたくない
turned into a big thing.
千鳥の
桔梗って案外頭悪い
Oh god. Oh god.
カオルコのことも言ってるの
They're all doing jabs there.
自分で考えないやっぱ頭悪いね
Oh, it's starting so toxic. Don't make fun of her hair.
いいんだ自分とこの生徒には甘そうだしね
Oh, this is
な
bad.
もんだね
おい言い過ぎだ。
Yes, thank
普
you.
段のお前はそんなダセえこと言うやつじゃねえ。
Thank you. Put your fucking friends in line. Same with you, Kaoruko. Get your friend in
そ
line.
の子
あの時怖がらせたのって宇佐美じゃない
Is
よし
he gonna apologize? Is he gonna apologize? This will be nice.
ごめん
Good job, dude. Ah,
桔梗だからって怖がらせたのは良くなかったよな
good job.
ごめんな
What's she doing?
私の方こ
Aw.
カオルコ
そあの騒ぎの元凶は私
No, it wasn't.
千鳥の皆さんを不快にさせたことずっと
Kaoruko, you don't need to apologize for that situation.
スバルも
Oh, there we go.
先に行ってる
スバル
She was trying to hold her friend accountable.
私もここで失礼します
That's what I was hoping for.
おおきに桔
Oh, I love this series, man.
小さい方も猫かぶってたら俺人間不信だ
There's so much tension in that scene, genuinely.
まあまあ僕たちのためだったんでしょ
Yeah, he should have apologized.
お前らが悪い
I get why he was doing it, but
平気で人を傷つけてそれに気づきもしない
that's unfair.
千鳥だって
She's probably got some trauma associated with that. There you go. See, that man wasn't the same.
えっと、
He's a good person.
すっごく優しい人
Yeah.
だったよ。じゃないと思う。
Yeah, your schools just have like a toxic environment around them. You need to start healing that first
ところ
before
で
you start judging
そのお
people.
菓子どうするの？飲食禁止だよ、ここ。まあ、
あんなに夏沢が教えてくれたのにせめて教わったところだけは絶対に
Well, we just need Kaoruko to get some free time. Well, look at him right now. Oh, the nerves, the nerves.
はい
今日のことでちょっと電話の方が早いかなと思って。
今日
She's very nervous.
友達が失礼なこと。
Aww.
あんな態度取られたら怒るのも当然です。あ、嘘つかせてごめんなさい。
Yeah, he did have to lie.
やっぱり優しいですね。
She's so nervous.
こういうのかっこよかったです。
Aww.
初めて言われた
What, is that the end of the conversation?
最近和栗さんと話してると
No, it isn't. It isn't. Why did you do that?
土曜はどうかなって思って。
Oh, that'd be good.
最近敬語外れちゃうから。
No, it's nice.
和栗さんの中で俺はまだ
That's all you
行
are.
きつけのケーキ屋のたまたま話すようになった人ってことか
No, I think she's just being careful.
俺結構仲良くなってるつもり
No,
だった
just tell her you want her to speak casually to you and yeah, he keeps not replying to her.
大丈夫
ケーキ集合にしましょうか。
わかりました
Oh, he's pretty down about it now.
和栗さんはどんな
What are you about to say?
いいので
Speak to me. Yes, good job.
次からはつけなくていい
Oh, I love these characters. They're doing most of the shit that I want them to do
それだけ
immediately.
いいの。次からは外すね。
Nice. 9 minutes 48.
中尾ってわかるわけねえだろマジではずいこと言っちまった
You did great, man. Your face is hot. And I'm not talking about the temperature.
楽しみかもしれない
Oh, this is the face she's making. It's very red.
出たの。バレてる。
Your face is hot. And not temperature. Okay, so they're childhood friends, these two. That's why she's so protective. Aww. Alright, well, that's, that was beautiful. This show, I'm really, really, really loving it. I am a big fan of many of the things that they did in this episode and that they've done in this show so far. Something that I've really enjoyed so far is that the characters seem to be making decisions that I want them to make quickly, which is just, it's so nice. Cause like, when I watch these shows, I don't need the characters to be perfect. In fact, I prefer if they're not. I don't need the characters to say all the right things in every circumstance. Like, absolutely not. I don't need them to like just never make a mistake or never misunderstand another person or anything. And I don't need them to confess their love super early or anything, right? Like some people are like, oh my god, just tell her you love her or whatever. Like throughout the entire series. I'm not like that because I also tend to watch these shows and like sometimes put myself in them and I go like, I would struggle to share my feelings as well. And also, like, we're watching a romance anime. We know that there's like a romantic element to these scenes. These characters in the scenes, no matter how romantic it may feel to them, they cannot know what the other person is feeling or thinking. And when you have a low enough self-esteem, you also will assume that any other person is never thinking romantically about you, ever. You feel that way so strongly. And I know because that's me. Like I will basically never be in a conversation and think to myself, this other person is into me. I just don't think it, you know? Even when later in my life I found out that yes, they were into me, and maybe it was seeming very obvious to other people, but it never seems obvious to me because I don't think of myself that way, and I don't think that other people see me that way. So like having that sort of low self-esteem is very common in romance shows and movies, and rightly so, because it's very common in real life. And I don't think, you know, the shows need to be, hey, in episode 3 they tell each other they love each other, right? I don't need that to happen. What I do want is like for these characters to, you know, steadily try to improve themselves. That's really what I care about. I love when romance shows are the characters improving themselves, with the romance being like a linking factor, but not necessarily the major thing that's happening, you know? Like in this episode, was there, well, I guess there was romantic progress in this episode, in that they, you know, have stopped talking to each other formally, or at least Kaoruko has stopped talking to Rintaro formally, and they're about to have a study date together. So I guess that's romantic progress. But even if those things didn't happen in this episode, I wouldn't have said like, oh, this episode there was no progress. Because to me, progress is these two characters growing. Even if it's growing like in a way that doesn't necessarily bring them closer together yet. These characters need to grow as people as time goes on, and learn new things and become different people, or the kind of person that they want to become. Because a lot of the time that's going to be not only how the other person will like you more, but also how you will become more confident in yourself. And that's mainly what romance requires, you know, for you to care about yourself in such a way that you allow yourself to be with another person. You allow yourself to be more confident and comfortable with another person. So so in this episode, I mean, Rintaro's learning, Kaoruko's learning, you know, these characters are becoming stronger. And like, as I said, I don't need them to be perfect. I actually like, I really like that early on there are absolutely flaws in these characters that otherwise they're showing in a very beautiful light, right? Like they have shown, now let me just go back in my notes to see these characters' names. Usami is the red-haired guy, and then I've written down Usami's name each time. Saku is the black-haired like sort of guy that's like Ishigami from Kaguya-sama. And then Subaru is the silver-haired girl, and I don't know if I have the name of the other guy. I don't think I have the name of the other guy. That's part of their friendship group. But they showed these characters, and they have showed them with these like pretty major flaws, while also in this episode there's no doubt that they're also painting them in a good light. And I mean, that's the episode was called like A Good Person or something. What was it called? A Kind Person, which is how Kaoruko described Rintaro, but also it's how Kaoruko describes Subaru in a way. She doesn't use those exact words, but she thinks of Subaru as a kind person. And you know, that Rintaro's friends are kind people as well. And yet this episode has a section where they're all fighting with each other and insulting one another. So it's like, how can these characters be kind? But it's like, that's kind of the complexity of it. And what I really enjoy is like early on we do have this sort of stiffness between them, because these characters have felt othered from each other. And there really is that sort of toxicity, and it's like everyone's kind of like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I said this in earlier episodes, but that like Kikyo treats Chidori like they're shitheads because of their reputation, and then Chidori in response are shitheads to Kikyo because they're not being respected and they're being treated like shit. So because of that, they are earning their reputation of being worse, which makes Kikyo treat them worse, and like that just goes back and forth forever. And that's a hard thing to to have to confront. But yeah, it takes people like Kaoruko and Rintaro to be able to confront that. Now, did they do all the perfect things in this situation? No, like not even Kaoruko and Rintaro. Like I'm going to be batting for Kaoruko in every scene she's in, basically, because I love her very, very much. So I'm going to be more I'm going to be like Subaru and be more defensive of her. Just because I care about her so much. I have such an emotional attachment that like I do have that instinctual, like the same thing as both Subaru and Rintaro had in this, where it's like they just, without even thinking, like reach to protect Kaoruko, you know? So I'm gonna be doing that in this series, I'm sure, where it's like I'm more likely to be pointing out other people's flaws in a situation than I am to be pointing out her flaws. But I don't even think like she was treating the situation perfectly. You know, in a perfect world, she speaks up early, she explains the entire situation, and she, you know, keep Subaru in line. I mean, like, Subaru was being very rude from the start, and then Rintaro's friends came in and they were being very rude from the start, you know? And both Kaoruko and Rintaro did eventually speak up and calm the situation down and try to get their friends to hold accountability. Both of them did, and I was very, very proud of that, and I loved that a lot. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that like they, in a perfect world, if they were handling the situation perfectly, they would have done that earlier, and they would have handled that situation like right off the bat. And even, you know, Kaoruko maybe should have even been harsher with Subaru afterwards and say to her like, hey, that actually what you did back there, I know you were doing it because you care about me and because you're protective of me, but like that was not okay. And you cannot do that again. Like, if we're gonna be friends, I can't have you be like abusing friends of mine, you know, or even just being suspicious of friends of mine, because it will scare people away from me and I'm gonna be alone because of that. So don't do that. But obviously it's not really Kaoruko's place. You know, it's not really her personality to be like chewing people out like that, you know. I mean, it's funny, in this episode, she did the whole, like, talked about how she, like, had to pinch herself to stay awake or whatever. And that was the first time I feel like we've seen her with, like, that sort of emotion. With a sort of, like, very, harsh, look to her. Which, made me interested to see more of the show and see, like, what sort of range does she show? Does she show more than happy, nervous and sad? You know, like those are mostly the range we've seen of her, but that doesn't mean she's not a three-dimensional character because those are her range of emotions, because there's many people I know who their range of emotions is that thick, you know, like that's just a thing, you know, like I'm sure you've met people in real life where it's like, oh, that person pretty much always seems like they're smiling, or that person is always just like grumpy, that person's always in a bad mood, or that person is always just talking like this. I don't know, man, whatever, you know, like they're just talking like that. Like there are some people who have such a small range of emotions, and Kaoruko, we've only seen a small range. I do want to see more just because I'm interested in it, but like I think if we do see it, it's going to be very, very rare, which is what makes me super interested in it, you know? Like, is there a point in this series where we're going to see her genuinely like pissed off at someone? And like, how does that happen with her, you know? Is she the sort of girl to like just give someone the silent treatment or like a death glare, or is she actually gonna like start yelling at someone, or maybe she yells tearfully? Like, she kind of feels like the kind of person who would either go dead silent about it and like just not make eye contact with them. That actually seems like her to me from what I know of her so far, or like a tearful anger, which I can also see for her. So yeah, I'm really keen to see more of this series just in general. Like every scene has had me very gripped so far. And like sometimes just little scenes that show Rintaro being a really, really nice person, but he doesn't think about himself as a nice person, you know? Like the scene of there's two girls that are looking for a table and they're like, oh, there are no open spots. And like, I think he knows I'm sitting at a table. There are 2 open spots at this table, right? Like there were 3 open spots at the table. They could sit here for a bit or whatever. Or I could like give them, you know, I could say like, hey, these seats are open. I don't mind if you guys sit here. But he also like, I mean, also he's waiting for his friends to come back. He probably needs a full table anyway. But let's take that aside for now. I think he knows he could do that, but he doesn't want people to be uncomfortable in his presence. He's so used to like people feeling anxious around him, so he doesn't even think of that as an option. And instead, he's like, I'm just gonna give them my table. But also, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know what, you two, you can take my table. Maybe they'd be scared if you talk to them, you know? So instead, he just stands up and pretends that he's done with whatever and gives the table. I like that the girls picked up on it immediately and they were like, I think he just gave us his table, which was like kind of nice. I think they weren't Kikyo girls, which is why they weren't as judgmental. But I liked that moment. And then he like tells his friend, he takes the blame for it. He says like, sorry man, I lost our table, you know? He did something nice for people and also takes the reputational hit for doing that nice thing, you know? He doesn't tell them like, oh, these girls wanted a table, I gave it to them, you know? Like instead he says like, sorry, it was because of my own ineptitude that I lost the table. So yeah. I also, in this episode, we had, man, I'm not even looking down at my notes and things are popping into my head to talk about. That's good. In this episode, there was that bit where he's watching Kaoruko from afar talking to another girl. And like just, you know, talking casually. And I mean, it ties into the end of the episode where he's like, you know, she speaks so casually to these other people, but speaks so formally to me. But like, you know, also I feel like that is a very real thing of like, sometimes you speak to someone, and whenever we speak to people, we tend to have modes that we switch to for different people. So like I speak to my friends in a different way that I speak to my family, then in a different way that I speak to a different group of friends that I have, in a different way that I speak to, like if I have a romantic partner, I'll speak to them very differently, you know? And I'm not doing it necessarily on purpose. Definitely have a different voice for strangers. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not trying to speak differently to different people. In fact, sometimes I'm actively trying to be myself. I'm actively trying to speak the same. But that doesn't always happen. That doesn't always come out like that. And so I think it is something that I've felt like. I love when I'm watching romance shows and there's like little moments of romance that they really capture beautifully. I talk about in Blue Box, there's a scene where he's just like in a car next to Chinatsu and she's in the other passenger seat, and he like looks over at her and she's just looking out the window, and it's like this moment, like the sun's hitting her, she's looking out the window, and it's like, it's just a quiet car ride. There's no monologue in that scene or anything. It's just a beautiful moment. But like that's to me like a beautiful little moment of romance that I've felt in my genuine life, of like when I've been in love with a girl and I have been in a car with her and I've looked at her and seen her just looking out the window, like, and seen her in her neutral state. She's like maybe in thought, maybe she's not, maybe her mind's empty, she's just looking out the window. Like, it doesn't matter, because I fall in love with her even more in that moment, seeing her in that neutral state, seeing the way the light hits her out the window, seeing like the scenery passing by behind her. Those like simple moments do actually influence my love for someone a lot. And this is another thing, like sometimes just seeing the way that she interacts with friends of hers, just seeing like when you're not around, how does she speak? And you sort of like will learn more about her, and you see more of like not necessarily the authentic her, because like the her that's with you might be the authentic her as well. Like all of them could be. I don't feel like different aspects of our personality, different ways we speak to each other, I don't think they're not authentically us. But you see a bit more of the bigger picture of who she is. You see another one of her modes, and another one of her modes could be really beautiful to you. So like just seeing that little moment, I don't know, it strikes something in me, man. Yeah. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this series. So that is Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, episode 3. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And my Patreon account will have the full-length reaction and early access. Next week's episode is on there right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.